What's up guys, I lifted this van for free, literally $0, didn't cost me anything, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to use this pipe bender, but a press will do exactly the same thing. Depending on what you've got, I've got a pipe bender, so I'm using it. And there you have it, 2 matching, lifted, very curved leaf springs. Right, so I got this leaf spring out. To separate the leaf springs, there's a bolt right there. So once I undo that, all these are going to come apart. And then I just use a flathead screwdriver and my hammer. So I put the screwdriver between the leaf spring and the little strap bracket thing and bend them out enough so then I can get the springs out. I don't want to bend them out too much because when you bend them back, if you do that too many times, they probably will snap. So you want to kind of eliminate that. So this here is obviously for the pipe bender. This is for the smallest possible pipe. So it sits on there quite well like that. So pressure's even and everything like that. And then this piece here, you don't need to use this, but it definitely made my life a lot easier for my pipe bender. Your pipe bender is probably different, but I put that there because that's the perfect spacing for this. So then this goes in there. And then these here, I just put kind of as close as it goes, because those pins usually hold these. I got rid of these because I want it to be flat. So once it's in, this here, we'll let it sit where it needs to sit. Get the small end first, and then find the mark that I just made. And kind of pump it until it, like that. And now it's like kind of tight, so it's holding it nicely, and then just count the pumps. So I think I roughly did about 4 or 5 here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the passenger side I'm doing at the moment. I've already done the driver's side. So I tried the driver's side first just to check the height and like the way it was going to work and everything. And then I pulled both springs out, and now I'm matching the left side, which is passenger side, to the driver's side, which is the right side. And this is how I did both of them. The reason I filmed it this way is because I wanted to try it first and make sure it was going to work before I made a video on it. I'm lifting this vehicle, but this is also really common to do with lowering a vehicle. I've seen it done lowering a vehicle before. And the suspension shops, they claim to use heat when they do this. My dad said that he got a suspension shop to do it with heat, and his sagged, and then his brother, my uncle, did it this way without heat, and it lasted way longer and didn't sag at all. So that is the one I just did sitting on top of the one that I want to match it to. So I got to go a little bit more. So obviously here needs more, here needs more, this curve needs more, and I can kind of judge. So I'm gonna basically just sort of look at what one, so this is obviously bent more in this area, so I might just mark this one a little bit more to let me know which ones need bent more, and just keep sort of doing this process. So these are done, these are exactly the same. Okay, so these ones here, these are done, these are exactly the same, they're sitting on top of each other, exactly the same bend, eyes and everything is the same. So then this one here is one that I've already bent, and then this one is the one on the other side, and line these up, this one. Also, you can see there is where I bent it, and that's the only place that I bent it. So I'm going to sit it on top of this one the right way around, and obviously it's a lot different. If I mark on this one, where I think I did, no. So obviously it's bent there, and it's bent there, and it's bent there. So if I put this on top of that one, mark it, you can actually see, like when you put them on top, you can see where it starts to bend. So I'm going to take this back to the bender, I'm going to do the same thing and I'll show you guys. And I almost forgot, I did bend this one, but I only bent it in one place only, just because where these sort of clamp up to it, I wanted to bend this a little bit more so it meets up properly. The vivid line was there from the last time, from when I bent this one, because I put a vivid line where I wanted to bend it, because I matched it up. So basically, that is right there. And then I'll just go and bend this one also. Alright, so this one here is bent, this one here is bent, this one here is bent in one place, and this one here is not bent at all. But one thing worth mentioning is, this might be obvious to some people, but others it might not be, so I thought I'll say, so these ones here, the steel isn't very thick. Then it gets a little bit thicker, so these are thicker, and then it gets thicker again, and then obviously those ones are very thick. I can almost make that go dead flat. So if I bend these into a big curve, they're not going to make as much of a difference as if I bent the slightly thicker ones the same curve. So you got to think about those things too. So when I was bending these here, I could bend them a lot further and then they'll spring back a lot more. And then like the thick ones like this, if I bend it a little bit, doesn't really spring back, it stays like that. So just something worth thinking about when you're sort of deciding on how much you want to bend all these things. Now it's time to put them all back together. When I pulled them apart, I put L's on all the left side, R's on all the right side. It's probably not necessary, but it doesn't hurt to put them back the way it was. I thought it's probably best. And then just stack them all up. If you can't remember which way they go, either take a photo before you start, or it's usually longest to smallest, or thinnest to thickest, so the thickest is on the bottom. And that's it. Do the bolts up, and then they're pretty much ready to go back in. Yeah, and then once you've got all them bolted up, like I have now, you want to close these things back up. So basically just hammer them up. Basically, exactly like that. It's a lot easier to do them, put them back together, than it is to pull them apart though. Definitely is. It's definitely easier to put them back together than it was to pull them apart. Being spring steel can make it obviously a little bit harder, but that's essentially it. And there you have it, 2 matching, lifted, very curved leaf springs. So now just to chuck it back in the van. So I've got them back in the van. This is over a month later. They did sag the tiniest bit, but only a couple mil. I was expecting more. So I'm pretty happy with that. It allowed me to get the 37s on it and take it off road. So basically, it's done everything I needed it to do. It only cost me, say, 4 hours to do this job. And to me, that's a win because I looked online, so there isn't many options for these vans. There's 2-inch lift kit only. That's all there is, which I think I probably only did 2 inches. And they are $600 each. That's $1,200 just for the rear. I do not want to spend $1,200 just lifting this van. I only spent $2.5 grand on the van. Don't know how much on tires, like $3 grand or something on tires. This is a budget build. I do not want to spend too much money on it. So I'm pretty happy with this DIY option. If I was to do it again, I'd probably do the bends, more of them and closer together, but other than that, it's perfect in my opinion. I hope this video was helpful and you learned something out of it. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try it. Maybe you've already tried it, or let me know in the comments if you think there's a better way. If you enjoyed the content, follow along because there's going to be a lot more on this van. We're fully repainting it. We're doing flares on it at the moment, front and rear bar work, the whole 9 yards pretty much. But I have got a 6-wheel drive Land Cruiser that has already had a lot done to it. So check that one out, and there's going to be a lot more wild builds on this channel, so I'll see you on the next one. And if you want to support the channel just in time for summer, our t-shirts are 30% off. As always guys, cheers for watching. If you haven't already watched these 2 videos, please do so. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday.